The idea for this mural has sort of been a confluence of a bunch of different things. One of them has to do with my shop. Because of having my feet sort of in the music world, it felt that, you know, the shop has been able to host, I've been able to host performances, events, be supportive of people through music here at the shop. But once the pandemic happened, you know, we had to stop doing that. And I spent a good part of a year asking myself the question, well, other than making furniture, what's this place now about? And I really didn't have, for the longest time, I really didn't have an answer to that. But I knew that, you know, in my better moments, I'd like to say that the least important thing that happens in my shop is the making of furniture. I feel like over the last 24 years, it's become a resource for the community. People stop in just to take the temperature, sometimes check my temperature. And so I knew that I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what it was. And then obviously, the last 4 years, hearing what the former president had to say about Latin Americans, about my people, about the people here in Kent County, I really felt, A, that I was tired of that, and that I wanted to make some kind of statement somehow. The other thing that I was aware of is that, you know, this shop is located in the middle of the Arts and Entertainment District. And I felt that as one of the full-time people here in the Arts and Entertainment District, I was like, well, you know, what, do I have an obligation to say something? Should I say something? What can I say? That sort of coincided with, over the last couple of years, I've sort of, now that I'm in the last stages of my working career, I think, having turned 70 last April, I have felt like I've had an obligation more than just casual to be supportive of the work of younger people. Younger people who are trying to make their living as artists. And so there are a couple of people, 3 or 4, that I've sort of informally taken under my wing, 2 of them specifically, and 2 of them are friends of mine, both of Latin American descent, Freddie Granillo and Vanna Ramirez. And they've helped me for the last several years here in the shop. And they're both trying to launch their careers. Both of them are wonderful artists, painting and ceramics. And so I thought to myself, wow, is there some way that I can create a situation that allows the larger community to be aware of what they do, and create a situation where their work is much more public than I think it has been in the past. And so it dawned on me, I was like, there's a wall outside of my shop. It's about 12 feet by 12 feet. Maybe we can put up a mural that speaks to their roots, my roots, their talents. And that's how the idea of doing a mural that highlights the contributions of the Latin American community, because although it's a quiet one, it's one that's vulnerable. It's very much here in Kent County, and it's been here for generations. Places like Angelica Nurseries go back to the 50s, where, you know, they've been employing Latin Americans. They started out employing Puerto Ricans, people from the island where my parents are from. And that's going back to the early 50s, I believe. And the truth is, my sense is in Kent County, you can't, or you don't own a nursery, you probably don't run a roofing company, you probably don't run a restaurant without having the work and the help of the Latin American community, one that's pretty invisible in Kent County. And so that's what this idea for a mural is all about. So the idea is, in the background you're going to see a village that's obviously a Latin American village, although you know, there's a part of me that thinks if an Arab person were to walk in here and see the background, they would recognize it. You know, perhaps even somebody from Africa would recognize that village because the colors, the shapes, I think there would be similarity. But in the foreground, there'll be a group of children, one holding a spinning top. The children, you know, will be of different ethnic backgrounds, just like we have here in Kent County. And right now, Freddie is working, trying to get permission from the families because he wants to use some of the kids who live here as models that he's going to draw from. The mural is just my attempt to try to make the community aware that we're more than we think we are.